it's basic as tower rushes get, but you just gotta make sure that you're making grunts and that you know, the thing about tower rushes is that, like, a lot of times they're based around just quickly running over and making towers, and that's not the case normally. You can't just plan, I'm going to tower rush this game. You have to close spawn. You have to see that close spawn and say, okay, I'm not going to tech, and instead this game I'm going to build a war mill, and I'm going to run over there quickly, and then I'm going to tower, but I'm going to get some grunts too, because my towers need cover. I can't just put them up. And you don't always have to put the towers in cover either. Sometimes just building a tower is enough to make your opponent lose focus, and maybe even focus fire the towers that are building, which you cancel, and you don't get all your materials back, but who cares? You just sort of created a unit for them to attack for a little bit and prevented them from doing damage to your grunts. I don't know why a lot of Orc players don't attack earlier, because especially when Night Elf players get archers, I think, grunts, 4 grunts versus 4 archers. Normally that's sort of like what they do. They do 2-3 grunts, tech, and then the other player will do 4, 3, I don't know the exact numbers, but a couple archers and tech, and either way, I'm not totally sure, but, I mean, think about it. Archers versus grunts. Grunts win. With a speed scroll and a blade master, grunts definitely win. I know people argue you can back up and shadow meld and do all that stuff. Fine, sure. But if you have weak units sitting all around, I don't care if they're invisible. They're still not attacking, and they're still weak. And if they come back, they're gonna die. Also, the other thing people will say is, well, Night Elves have moon wells, and that allows them to heal. Fine. So attack their hero, make their hero spend all of their moon juice on mana and life, and they don't have any for their archers, and you kill the archers, you get experience, and you're straight. Just be sure that if you do something like this, you're focused on canceling buildings, because that's the number one thing. People, you can kill an archer or 2, that's fine, but once you get a few towers up, it's not going to matter if you kill a few archers. But you need to kill the buildings so they can't get the counter, especially Night Elf, who can get the glaive throwers. See, didn't call them ballistas. Can get the glaive throwers early. You definitely want to be able to counter them by preventing them from making the buildings. And most players, they might not have a room in the back of their base to put up a Hunter's Hall. And if that's the case, you win. And if you can pull off 1 or 2 towers, you're going to win. Basically, that's the way it is. I mean, Ancient of Wars don't do enough. They don't have enough life, don't do enough damage to withstand, 2 or 3 towers plus grunts and a blade master. They're not going to be able to fight, so even if they make 2 or 3 or 4 of them, they're not going to be able to do enough damage, and he's not going to have the resources to repair constantly, because he's not going to be mining, because he needs to have his tree attacking your units and stuff like that, so he's not going to be creating more wisps to replace the ones that have died. And as you Night Elf players and all players know, wisps die fast. So that's basically it for that one. I know it's short, and the next one's short too, but the next one's really just sort of a funny game. Hey guys, it's Tainted Sun again. Go ahead and get replay 4 paused at the minute mark, 1 minute mark, not minute and 30 seconds. This is a short replay. It's real short. While you're getting it there, I will explain the background music. Background music is a remix of the Final Fantasy VII battle music that I did like 5 years ago. I think you'll like it. Actually, it sort of sucks, but you'll enjoy it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this replay unpaused in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. Alright, so look at the timer right now. Okay, so this game's gonna be dead, like, really short. It's gonna be dead short. It's real short, and it's funny. So, take the fog of war off, and we'll see, and you see that there's a cross spawn between Nilk and our friend Iggy here. And apparently what happened is, this is a series between the two, and Nilk wins the first game. And in this game, what ends up happening is Iggy decides to go for a dual crypt, as you can see, Firelord rush. And he does it successfully, and it's really funny. And I think it involves some towers, and it's pretty funny. So I decided I'd do a little quick audio commentary on it. The real reason I'm doing an audio commentary on it is because Amez, one of the moderators here, said he wanted to do one, and I'm going to beat him to the punch since he told me he never watches audios or listens to audios, and if he never listens to them, he doesn't deserve to make them. So I'm not going to let him. Plus, he's overall mean to me, and I'm gonna beat him now. So anyway, you can see in the center there's a ghoul who just bought a Firelord, like I said. I believe he runs back to... Nope, he goes up to Scout. Right, he goes up to Scout. And you see Nilk is doing what all humans do. They get a bunch of militia and they creep the Goblin Laboratory. They both scouted out each other. Or, I guess Iggy hasn't really scouted him out yet, but he knows that he's not in the other two positions, so he knows where he is. And he knows that he's human since he played him last game. So he comes back to his base with his Firelord, sells his town portal, picks up a Rod of Necromancy, and you can see on the time bar this game is already halfway over. It's only at the 3-minute mark. So he's waiting to get some ghouls out. At the top you can see he's sending a ghoul up to scout. The basic reason this strategy works is because human is out creeping and human has a lot of weak militia, and especially if they're trying to do what he's doing right now, which is pull a fast expansion, you're gonna have a good chance of winning if you get lucky. You're not gonna be able to do this against really pro players. He, is able to in this game because of just crazy circumstances. It's probably a mistake by Nilk to go ahead and creep that spot when he saw the Firelord, since he probably knows what's coming. But he does it anyway. And it's gonna cost him, because the Firelord is coming up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ghouls, 7, 8 ghouls, and basically he has a bunch of weak peasants, sort of weak, and he's forced to run back. So he started constructing a tower. You can see there, Nilk started making a tower just because he knew this was coming. But I think what ends up happening is the Firelord has great position back there and is able to, turn the lava spawn into too many spawns before he's able to really do some damage. You can see the Firelord was well protected by the wall of skeletons and ghouls, and there's no way any footmen or anything can get to him, and the lava spawn just split, which just totally annihilates. And now he just summoned another one, since he's not using his other spells, the other fire spell, the autocast spell that he has, Incinerate. The game's over, just like that. There's too many skeletons, too many fire. He doesn't even score higher than him. That's so funny. Yeah, great game. I know. So, song playing in the background is my Final Fantasy remix song. I know you're enjoying it, and I know you'd love that audio commentary. It's so informing. But it is something you guys should try every once in a while. Try that kind of rush. Even if the rush doesn't fail and you teleport out, if you can kill 3 or 4 or 5 peasants, you've met your town portal. But he actually did sell his town portal. But you can still do the strategy without selling a town portal. Still be viable, still work. Definitely something that you could actually work and perfect against certain races, close spawn on certain maps where you're close together, or maybe just the single 1-versus-1 maps, Tyrannistan and stuff like that. You could definitely do it on those maps. It's definitely a strategy that you guys can do, even though it's sort of... Some people would say it's new, some people would say it's lame, and some people would say it just doesn't work. But I'd argue that there's times when it will. So, give it a try. Send me some replays. I love to watch them. I love watching games in under 5 minutes. They're so funny. Okay, people. I have decided that I'm going to do a live audio commentary of me doing a crazy strategy like Torrent Chieftain first. How about that? So, I'm searching on Battle.net right now.